My concern level is, throttled somewhere between relatively concerned to extremely concerned since the first game of the season, and there has been no reason to throttle it down. LeBron James playing the most minutes he has played since 2018 with Cleveland. That was the year with no Kyrie, Kevin Love in and out of the lineup, LeBron, an awful roster around him, had to do everything. There is no reason whatsoever LeBron, who turns 37 in 3 weeks in year 19, should be playing that level of minutes, leading the team in points, leading the team in minutes, second in the team in assists, and they're still not good. The Lakers losing to the Grizzlies without Ja and Dillon Brooks, it's a first cousin to their couple of losses to the Thunder, who, by the way, are who they play tonight. Is it all on any one person? No. But LeBron's piece of it is his lack of availability throughout the first third of the season. AD's piece of it is his lack of intensity throughout the entirety of the season. Vogel's piece of it is him just throwing darts at lineups. Broussard last night, he didn't even start the second half with the same lineup he started the first half. He's just guessing. And so you take the Nets, Broussard, another team that I think you could say, it's a little disappointing so far this year, aside from KD. They're first in the East. You know why? Because even though they can't beat the good teams, they don't lose to the bad teams. The Lakers, eventually the schedule's going to get harder. They've had an incredibly soft schedule, and they've squandered it. They're going to be behind the 8 ball now for the rest of the season moving forward. So, yeah, you should be really concerned.
Look, it's a flawed roster. It's as simple as that. I don't think they're going to win the championship. Right. I don't think they're coming out of the West, all right? We all know they're the oldest team in the league, and that's a big reason why their defense is falling off, because it's hard for them to stay in front of opposing offensive players, and they can't bring the consistent energy that is necessary to be a good defensive team. All right, so especially today when the floor is so spread out. Like, it is difficult to be a defender today because you've got to cover so much more space than you did when offenses were built around the paint. So that hurts the older teams. You brought up LeBron, Nick. Numbers are tremendous. I think in today's game, this is not just him, but in today's NBA, because of the prominence of the three-point line, it is easier to put up big numbers. We got several guys threatening, not that they're going to average a triple-double, but guys that are close, right? Luka, James Harden, Westbrook, even though he's playing with LeBron and AD, like it's somewhat close. So it's because guys score more because they shoot more threes, and the three-point shot creates long rebounds so guards and perimeter players can get long rebounds. I say that to say, even though LeBron's numbers look great, he doesn't dominate the game and impose his will on the game like he has throughout his career. And that's an issue. And then AD, you mentioned it, Nick, he should be their best player, but he's a low-energy guy. And when your young guy in his prime who should be your best player is low energy-wise, that's a problem. Now, probably like Nick, there's a part of me that is hesitant to completely write the Lakers off just because of LeBron's greatness. Okay, but we have seen absolutely nothing on the court to let us think this team can win the West. Because even when they look good, Wilds, who's it against? A bad Boston team without Jaylen Brown, an abysmal Detroit Pistons team, and an Indiana team that's so bad that they're considering a rebuild, even though this is supposed to be the rebuild. So I'm concerned, yes, and I don't think the Lakers are going to be playing in June in the finals.
Wow, Broussard off of his Lakers pick. This is a big deal, everybody. Broussard doesn't move off his picks. He'll ride the Clippers ship until it's at the bottom of the ocean. So the fact that you're moving off of it is a big deal. And I think you nailed something, Broussard, when you talked about the Lakers just play old. Now, LeBron plays like an old guy, but the complementary side of that is that he plays smart because the Lakers played great team defense. Well, that team's gone. Caruso's on the Bulls. In this stat, I asked Dusty to look it up. I'm like, Dusty, I saw these plays. Is LeBron moving a lot less on defense? He's like, Wilds, turns out he is. He's the third slowest guy in the entire league. Now, this looks like an indictment, but here's the thing. He also won the championship when he was the fourth slowest guy, right? So the idea is you're not going to get LeBron running all around the court. You're going to get a smart, savvy, defensive LeBron, just like an old guy playing in YMCA basketball.
Right.
But, Nick, my concern is if the team is not playing like that, then all of a sudden slow LeBron just looks like slow LeBron. Doesn't seem like savvy LeBron. So I know you don't want to say it.
Well, right.
But you're not getting rid of AD. You're not getting rid of Russ. You're not getting rid of LeBron. You're going to end up looking at one guy pretty soon here if the Lakers continue this way.
Oh, you're saying Vogel. Yeah,
Vogel.
Listen, I think Vogel.
Yeah, sorry.
If they'd have lost to, I was told yesterday. I'm not reporting this. This was just in the rumor mill yesterday by people in the rumor mill that if they had lost to Detroit, Vogel thought he was going to be out. And that was just a week ago. So if we lose this game, I'm out, then your job is hanging by a thread, okay? So I'm not reporting that because it's not my report. It was just talking Lakers with people that know stuff about the Lakers, and that's what I was told Vogel thought at the moment, okay? So, yeah, because there's not a lot of moves they can make, right, Wilds? It's not a report. On the LeBron speed thing, so that can be good or bad. It's similar to guys who move the most. LeBron historically has been a guy, it's like, wow, he doesn't cover as much ground during a game. But that was even when he was Defensive Player of the Year caliber guy, because that means you're in the right spot.
Yep.
Like Russ moves a ton defensively, but it's because he's running around and he's in the wrong spot. But you can watch it and you say, if Ja was out there, who on the Lakers roster is stopping Ja from getting to the basket every single time? Who can stop him at the point of attack? The answer is nobody. Like, the answer is they have nobody to guard that spot. They were supposed to be covered up by having the best defensive player in the league in Anthony Davis. And I know AD last year took it on the chin about his offensive numbers, but the fact of the matter is this year, while the offensive numbers have rebounded a bit, the defense has gotten worse. Last year, the Lakers, even though they weren't a very good team, were still a great defense. The year they won the title, they were a great defense. They're nothing like that right now. And it is outlandish and outrageous that the Lakers are in a position where the only way for them to reliably win is, as Broussard put it, for LeBron to take over, for LeBron to be great. They need whatever is left in the LeBron takeover tank to be saved for the playoffs. But they're going to need it to hover around 500. Right now, it's a mismatched roster, a poorly coached team, and their superstar in his prime, Anthony Davis, is not playing like it. That is a recipe to lose to the JV Grizzlies. It's bad.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.